Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief keeps you informed about what's happening in Annapolis, Anne Arundel County, and Maryland. Local news, local sports, local events, local opinion, and, of course, local weather. Your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief starts now.
Good morning. It's Wednesday, May 19th, 2021. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis daily news brief. Yesterday, I got an opportunity to speak to the Parole Rotary's monthly meeting, and I actually had a great time. If you're looking for a service organization, definitely look to the Rotaries. I also got a fascinating book that they wrote called Memories and History of the Parole Area. It's an incredible look into the history and the people of this little slice of Annapolis. I've not quite finished it yet, but get a copy. You can order one for $20, and I heard that all of that goes to programming with the Rotary. There's no profit, so somebody apparently donated the printing of it. But you can get it at parole-rotary.org, parole-rotary.org. And to any members of the Parole Rotary that are listening this morning, thank you very much for having me. I had a great time. Okay, it is hump day, so let's get into it. Some good news on the crime front for a change. The Anne Arundel County Police arrested a man in their northern district, which is the Glen Burnie, Brooklyn Park area, who had been charged with last month's murder in Annapolis. He was riding a dirt bike from Baltimore City into Glen Burnie when the Anne Arundel County Police picked him up, and he is charged with killing Mark Terrell Hill, who was shot on April 3rd at 7:30 on Newtown Drive, and subsequently he died at the hospital. The suspect has been charged with first and second degree murder and several other charges, and Mayor Buckley said in a statement, "It was important to see this arrest because it helps an Annapolis neighborhood that should not have to contend with violence." The governor signed a whole lot of new laws yesterday morning, like 226 of them. A few of the notable ones are the legalization for sports betting, the repeal of the Maryland state song, expansion of the ability for restaurants to sell takeaway alcohol, and oddly enough that this was not illegal already, but making it illegal for a student sex offender to go on school property. We have a list of the biggies on eyeonannapolis.net as well as a link to the rest of them. You want to go check them out. And most of these will go into effect on October 1st. And at that bill signing, they also announced something that will go into effect this Friday. Our State House will be reopening to the public. They will have some health screening in place, temperature checks, and that questionnaire. And they will also use it as a PR tool to have info on where to get tested and where to get your vaccines. The hours are 9 to 5, 7 days a week. But remember, all other state buildings are open only by appointment only. And if you haven't seen our State House ever or recently, go check it out. It's a beautiful building. There's some great history. It's a really spectacular sight to see. A reminder that the city of Annapolis has canceled the Memorial Day Parade and wreath laying ceremony for this year. However, on May 30th, they will be holding an event to acknowledge the 100th anniversary of Tulsa's Greenwood Massacre. Annapolis Mayor Gavin Buckley and County Executive Stuart Pittman will designate May 30th as Black Wall Street Day in the city of Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. Now, for more information on Black Wall Street, you want to head on over to blackwallstreet.org/ourhistory. Again, blackwallstreet.org/ourhistory. We've been telling you that pretty much all of the restaurants are hurting for staff. So if you're looking for a job, look to the food service industry. Food service not your thing? How about casinos? Live Casino and Hotel is looking for a ton of people as well. They're having an in-person hiring fair on Monday the 24th and Tuesday the 25th from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. both days. Interviews and job offers are going to be on the spot, and there is a $750 signing bonus. While you can walk up, they do suggest that you pre-register at maryland.livecasinohotel.com/careers. I'm going to repeat that again. maryland.livecasinohotel.com/careers. So if you are looking for a job, go get it. Finally, another round of kudos to John Deegan and the team at Bay Village Assisted Living and Memory Care. They were recently recognized for having a 100% vaccination rate for employees and residents. So they're probably the safest place in Annapolis right about now. So congrats to John, Aaron, and Sherry. All right, that wraps up the news for us today. As always, thank you for listening. And if you are somewhere where you can leave a rating or a review, please do. And make sure you let your friends, family, and colleagues all know to follow us. A quick thank you to the sponsor for today's Daily News Brief, Solar Energy Services up in Millersville, the Kristi Neidhardt Team of Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster Company, and to the Maryland Wing Festival coming to the Fairgrounds on June 5th. Hang tight. We have George Young from DCMDVA Weather standing by with your locally forecast weather report. And since you never know when you might need an attorney, we have Scott MacMullan here today with some periodic legal insight for you. All of that's coming up, but right now, here's Rick Peters from Solar Energy Services.
Hello, energy consumers. This is Rick Peters, president of Solar Energy Services. With all the talk of energy resilience in the news recently, I'm surprised there's not more talk about solar plus batteries, especially since 1/3 of all of our new residential solar projects include a battery backup system that provides instant energy security and peace of mind. And with incentives in place for battery backup, this investment is now more affordable than ever. With financing rates as low as 0.99% and plans offering 18 months same as cash, it's now easier than ever to go solar with no money down. Financing creates an easy bill swap scenario where you replace your electric bill with a loan payment, allowing you to build equity in your own personal energy supply. Don't wait for your next power outage to act. Contact us today at 410-923-6090 or visit us at solarsaves.net to learn more about solar with battery backup. Don't wait another minute. Sunshine's are wasted.
Sunshine, sunshine, nothing else can make me feel so fine.
When you live near Annapolis, you know how fickle the weather can be. So you need a truly local forecast that's accurate and reliable. Forecast right here in Annapolis. DCMDVA Weather is not just for today, but for the rest of the week and the weekend too. Now here's George Young of DCMDVA Weather with the weather outlook for today and beyond.
Hey everyone, this is George with DCMDVA Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Wednesday, May 19th. Yesterday brought more sunshine and warmer temps to the Annapolis region, and that trend will continue today through the weekend as the thermometer continues to climb. Look for ample sunshine today with afternoon highs in the low to mid 80s across all of Anne Arundel County, with more sunshine and mid to upper 80s likely Thursday through Sunday, with an outside chance that some locations in the area will see readings of 90 plus degrees ahead of a greater likelihood of 90s next Monday and Tuesday, as high pressure off the southeastern coast in the Atlantic continuously funnels warmer air northeastward over the next 7+ days in what is a very common summertime setup for the region. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DC MDVA Weather. Make it a great day out there. Stay healthy and be safe, and be sure to get our free app on all of your devices by searching DC MDVA Weather in the Apple or Google App Stores. And also be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and use our website each day by visiting dcmdvaweather.com so you can always stay weather informed.
Another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt of the Kristi Neidhardt Team from Northrop Realty, a Long and Foster Company.
One of the most common questions we get, how do I maximize the value of my home before I sell it? It's a great question. We look at improvements like investments. What is the rate of return? For example, if we invest $5,000 in painting kitchen cabinets and installing granite, how much more will our home sell for? The answer? About $25,000 more. That's a 500% return on investment. Because of returns like this, we have started a program called Investing in You. We know cash is often tight when you're making a move, and we are here to help. We will front you up to $15,000 to invest in refreshing your home before you list it, with the agreement to be paid back once your home settles. Call us today at 410-599-1370 so we can help you maximize your home's value.
That's another moving moment from Kristi Neidhardt. To get in touch, call 410-295-6579 or visit kn-team.com. That's kn-team.com.
You never know when you might need an attorney. It could be when the lights light up on the police car behind you. Or maybe you have $1 million idea and need to incorporate. From wills and trusts to car wrecks and arrests, Scott MacMullan with the Annapolis-based Scott MacMullan Law, LLC, is here to offer some insight for you with today's Legal Brief.
Hello, this is Scott MacMullan, and this is your Legal Brief. Getting out of a speeding ticket. They're a pain in the butt, but everyone gets speeding ticket. It's one of the hardest offenses to beat nowadays in Maryland. An Annapolis traffic lawyer can help you get out of your traffic ticket. The first step really in my advice is simple and straightforward. My advice is to be nice. You're pulled over. It doesn't mean you have to offer any evidence, but you can be cooperative and have your license and registration ready for the officer before he even gets to your window. I have often got out of a few tickets by just being prepared for the cop when he comes to my window. It kind of lets the cop that, hey, you know what you're doing, you know your rights. If you were clocked by a radar gun speeding, which is usually the case, then you can only attack the validity of that radar gun and the officer's competency in operating that radar gun. So your day in court, you need to, one, make sure the police officer shows up. If the officer doesn't show up, then ask the judge to dismiss the case or just say not guilty, Your Honor. They'll ask you, what do you plead? If there's no police officers there, say not guilty. Many of people and certain judges won't be helpful with this. They'll actually give you a guilty if you say you're guilty. But if there's no police officer at court, you say not guilty, you're going to win. If the officer is there, then ask the officer for 2 documents. First, the radar gun operator's license, and 2, the calibration certificate for the radar gun. If the officer has these 2 documents, then a lot of times you're probably out of luck. This document gives insight on what the police officer is looking to do when issuing a traffic citation. If the officer is missing one or both of these documents, then you can cross-examine the officer on any points of their obstructed view or anything like that. And that's really when a lawyer can come in handy and to help you out by your side. Call 443-494-9775 for help in getting out of your speeding ticket. This was sponsored by Scott MacMullan Law, LLC, at 104 Cathedral Street in Annapolis. This is information and it's not intended as advice. You should contact an attorney regarding your individual situation. We invite you to contact Scott MacMullan Law, LLC. Please do not send any confidential information until such time the attorney-client relationship has been established. Thank you for listening to the Scott MacMullan Law Legal Brief.
All right, so COVID gave us an unexpected year off last year, but come June 5th, the 7th Annual Maryland Wing Festival is back at the Anne Arundel County Fairgrounds. Bring the whole family for a fantastic day filled with fun, games, shopping, music, and, oh yeah, plenty of wings. This year, the festival will be spread out throughout the grounds with more tables so you can enjoy 2 stages of live music, axe throwing, a game tent by Next Level Gaming, and an Odyssey escape room. Wings from more than a dozen vendors with dozens of flavors to try, plenty of cool beverages and craft beers because, hey, what goes better with wings than cool beverages and craft beers? Tickets are available now, so head on over to eventbrite.com and search for Maryland Wing Festival and get yours today. Now, we know that most COVID restrictions have been lifted, but we also know that may change, and if that does, the festival will be adhering to all state and county health mandates.
You've been listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Tell your friends and colleagues, this is the podcast where you can keep up on the latest with what's going on in Annapolis and Anne Arundel County. And don't forget about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find even more information. And make sure you follow us on Facebook at All Annapolis and on Twitter at Eye on Annapolis. This Daily News Brief podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 6 a.m.